And here we go. Diddly-gaff. Big Small, how you doing, Paul? Got half an hour here while I tried to move the campaign on GM duties. Then a break of 60 minutes or so, but then should be back, if you're still around, that is. How you doing, Diddly-gaff? My good friend from out west way. How you doing, Dale? Gotta get things cracking here. I couldn't find my basing materials. They're gone. There's 2 little boxes that I used. They had special little stuff inside, and they're gone. So I'm going to have to make a new batch of basing material here. Static grass, green and brown flock, kitty litter, play sand. I can't find my play sand. The play sand I can't find. I had it in a Pringle can, if I remember. So where's that? Huh, it's funny how everything just disappeared. Doing okay here overall? Bad fall 2 weeks ago. Uh-oh. Back's still messing with me. Boy, you be careful. You be careful, man. Jeez, what a life. Yeah, you be careful yourself. We ain't the youngsters we used to be. It's like I carried away. Anyway, I'm going to start on the basing today. I don't know if I'll get it all done like I planned. But that's okay. I do have to paint the tips of the banner poles. Boy, they're looking pretty impressive. There's a lot to do here. Never looks as massive as I envision it to be. This is like a core. Well, if you can imagine a core at whatever scale that is, I don't know. That's all of them in there. Hard to see, but you can see the flags in the front rank there. Anyway, it's too dark. I was thinking of setting up the camera on the big tripod and you guys can watch me do this process. Otherwise, you're looking at this. Can't see my little table space here. Unless I turn it, but that's not going to do too well. It's too low. This little mini tripod isn't big enough. Maybe I could move it over here. Let me see. Let me see, Dale. Hold on, Dale. Calm down. I'll get this right. Dale getting wild again. He's going to throw his back out, I'm telling you. Gotta keep an eye on Dale. Gets a little too excited at times. Cords are all wound up. As they usually are. Ah, geez. Let's see. This goes over here. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Gotta lift this up. Drop it down. There. Damn. It's always a struggle. Can I turn it this way? Oh, you can't even see anyway. It's too dark. I'd have to turn my exposure up. Ah, jeez. What kind of life is this? I don't know. Let's just calm down on my end. Take a breather, drink some coffee and a vape here. Been there, done that? Yes, sir, indeed. What do we got here? 4 viewers here on the YouTubeage. It's about right. I'm not on Twitch today. No Twitcheroonies. Yeah, let's calm down a little bit and take a breather. So how is everybody? Kind of know your situation there, Dale. And you, Paul. What does that leave? I don't know. I guess me. Oh, there's Iron Man. Working on his random generators. I see what you're doing over there. Gotta watch Iron Man too. He's just as wild as Dale. Careful, Iron. You don't want to throw your back out. I'm sorry. Getting wild today. Got all my Hyperborea in, Arn. I am stocked with Hyperborea. I got just about everything. 2nd edition and 3rd. The only thing I'm missing as far as printed materials is the 4 brand new modules for the 3rd edition. I've got every other module, thanks to Squirrel. Player's Handbook, Core Rule Book. I got the 3rd edition Referee's Book, Player's Manual. I am set. I am so stoked. This is huge for me. The only reason I haven't gotten into this game that I absolutely love and adore is pricey. I think $100 just for the 2 core books for 3rd edition alone. So hats off to Squirrel. I mean, man, he didn't have to do that. I bought the 3rd edition stuff, but he sent along everything else. Plus extras. Plus that Polemus book or whatever it's called for the city. Just that alone is $100. So I'm not going to go on about this. I'm just blown away. Crazy. So I'm all set. You know what I'm going to be running this year? Got the Wood Elf faction. What's that? Got the Wood Elf faction moves and diplomacy, etc. to do. The player always gives a mass of orders. Gives me masses of orders. I don't know why I said en masse. Full of ifs and buts and maybes. You ever think about writing down your campaign system so other people could use it? Maybe make it a little generic? For fantasy gamers? I don't know if that would be a practical thing to do. Flame Zombie has entered the chat. How you doing, Flame? Yeah. Hyperborea books were $50 each. For a core book in a role-playing game, say typically 300 pages or so. That's way expensive. It's crazy expensive. $40 tops. Come on. Remember when they were $25? $30? Or am I the only one that remembers those days? Man. So I steered clear of it. I had just the PDFs. I can't afford stuff like that. But doesn't matter now. Ugh. Crazy. Hanging in there, says Flame Zombie. Really busy since my state has decided to burst into flames. I'm safe, however. Well, there you go. There you go. Get out the fire hydrant. Or get it ready. Get close to the fire hydrant. What am I trying to say? Fire extinguisher? That's what I'm trying to say. Thumbs up from the Dilly. Dilly Dale. Went to the hobby store, says Paul, today. Got modeling putty, what we call milliput, for makeshift plumbing repair. My skill set is very limited, however. Basically, toy soldiers, thus, choice of plumbing repair material. Milliput's good. I got some green stuff here somewhere. I've never used green stuff ever in my life, if you can imagine. And RPG Grandma turned me on to it and what you can do and where I could get it. So I got it on Amazon. And I've never used it yet. I've got it packed away in a Ziploc. You know, sculpted and that kind of stuff. So we shall see. What you planning on playing, Dale? Got any games you're getting into? I think you were telling me before, but I've forgotten. I'm kind of excited about my Flames of War, of course, and the other things I got going on. Ancients and 40k. Fantasy. But there's one new thing that I've been itching to get into, and I think of Dale every time I ponder it, and that's bolt action. / chain of command, of course. But yeah, I'm kind of interested in collecting for that. I paint figures in that scale, 28 millimeter. World War II. I used to, all the time. Usually to sell. I never kept them. But vehicles, everything. I love painting them, especially the Warlord Games models. So I'm thinking of this time, I'm going to keep them. You know, we're going to get into some platoon level 28 mil World War II. I always wanted to play bolt action. You know, good fun romp through World War II battles. But, and Chain of Command, of course, because I'd never done it. So I'm looking forward to that. That's probably my newest thing to get into. Probably do a lot with the 3D printers for that. Especially with vehicles. Lately, Gates of Hell and Sniper Elite Resistance. But gathering my Chain of Command troops, there you go. There you go. I always think of Dale when it comes to World War II 28s. And 40k too, for some reason. Well, for an obvious reason. Me and Dale go back quite a ways. A lot of memories there. How you doing, Percy? I see you snuck in. I saw that. Percy Bloke. Percy Block. Joining the neighborhood here. Gonna do some flocking today, Percy. Gonna flock some bases. Probably not all of them, but get a good start on them, I think. I had to gather all my flocking material from scratch. You know what I don't have? Any minced bark and herbs. Old herbs. You know what? I might go in the other room and see if I can find some old herbs that I've set aside for flocking. Tamiya modeling putty is great too, says Flame Zombie. Good for filling mold seam lines. Very soft and workable. Okay. I have 40k troops too. You do. You absolutely do. So do I, actually. Got a good start on my Dark Angels. And I got a few Sisters of Battle painted. I got a ton of unpainted flames, or yeah, ton of Sisters of Battle to do. I can't wait. You know, when I get these commissions settled, oh. Some of Vagan. Let's go over here and look real quick at something. Okay, life is good. Oh, that's a good idea for flocking. Wouldn't have thought of that. Really? What, the herbs? I got kitty litter. mixed in with some static grass for some reason. They keep separated. I've got a big tub of static grass. I've had this static grass for 30 years. Can you believe that? "30 years, man. Harvest gold." I've got a coffee can here in front of me of that's a mix of gravel. It's mostly gravel, actually. The stuff at the bottom of bird cages, you know, besides the obvious. This is what they sharpen their beaks with and stuff and chew on. So I got some gravel. I don't know where my play sand is. And I've got some... Where is my flock? Somewhere I got some green and brown flock. Oh, here it is. The real fine stuff. You see, it's a mix of green and brown. Again, in a coffee container. Filter packs. I've had this for about 20 years. I'm old school, I'm telling you. Rotten clumps of paper falling away. Huh, I haven't seen Vallejo putty around. Do a lot of weathering. Mud detail. Just stuffed around the pipes to hold them in place instead of anything professional. Oh, that's terrible. Shoddy work is what that is. Speaking of flock, I just got my flock and tufts. Order from Shein. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Time to get flocking. What do you think? We make today an official flock day? Monday? Monday is our official flocking day. Official flocking day, Dale. Don't have my box. I'm going to need some water. I'm going to need some glue. Do a little mix there in this little plate. Do the bases and then do the sprinkly. Let's get this ready. Put the little stones over here. I'm going to have to get the flock out in a separate little container if I have one. Well, we'll do that in a minute, I think. I got to get another little container. I don't know what happened to my containers. I tried doing what he had, after all. Worked for a few years, tap-filled copper pipes. Oh, screw the copper pipes. My house is full of them. I've slowly been getting rid of them, replacing them with PEX. That's that kind of hard rubber. I don't know what it's made of. Kind of a hard rubber tubing. It's kind of insulated. Doesn't freeze. So easy to put together. Oh man, with those shark bites. That's the fittings that you put on. Just, it's a breeze. Even though I don't have the water pump working right now, I do have the bathroom next door all hooked up. The kitchen sink over here. The bathroom over here, I gotta redo. I gotta replace all that copper with PEX. That has to be redone. I'm all set to do it. I got the shut-off valve right under the sink where I'm going to connect it to it. Then go right into the bathroom area. Got a shower, toilet, sink in there. I'm gonna have to rip the pipe sink. What's it called? The pipe from the basin to the sink. I have to rip that out and replace it because it's plugged. I don't know what she was putting in that, but that's got to be cleared out. I'm just going to pull it out and see if I need to replace it even while I'm at it. I got to fix the sink in here under the basin, the pipe. I think the gasket there that connects to the basin is busted because it was leaking all last year. Little advice there. Ancient galvanized steel pipes. They're terrible. Shoddy workmanship. Well, plumber's a weird guy. Got a weirdo. Only if you thought of milliput. Be careful of shark bites. Easy to install. They can fail easier than fittings, though. That's where mine blew out this winter. I've had no problems yet. My only real concern is if, you know how in the wintertime pipes could bust. So if anything busts, I think it would be the fittings. I've heard that they're the first to go, so you got to be careful of that. They don't hold up under the cold temperatures as well. But that said, I've been using them for years now. I've no problems with the fittings. I've had some frozen pipes. Twice this winter. Oh, but copper pipes, oh my God, rip them out, get them out of here. I had one bust like a month ago next door under the bathroom. The copper pipe just blew off and shot water for like a good hour. It was running, just filling up the whole house with water. I got over there an hour later, and there's like an inch or more of water all in the lower portion of the house where the water was coming out of the bathroom and going down the steps and just filling up the whole kitchen, everything. It was a good inch of water. Ruined the carpets. This is right at the start of winter. Well, like a month and a half ago. A week later, my pump died. My water pump. Go figure. That was a disaster. So the water didn't freeze. Just busted. An old copper pipe. Bathroom sink. It took me forever to find out where the leaking was coming from. Oh, it took me forever to find a way to shut it off. I had to go to the old house and go down where the pump is and turn the water off to everything. And then fix it. And thankfully, how I fixed that? On the end of the copper pipe, I took a shark bite valve, an on-off. I think it's a two-way. And I pushed one of those on. Like within 30 seconds, it was all done. Fixed. I just got to keep it off. That's all I had. But that solved that problem. Yeah, but anyway, that's my situation. Today's plumbing day. We're talking about plumbing. I think we're all a bunch of masters of plumbing here. Do-it-yourselfers. Right, Dale? Dale's not a plumbing man. All right, let me go grab another container so we could put our whatever I was going to put in it. I'm not sure what I was going to put in it. I don't think I need anything, actually. I could just work with this. Yeah, I don't know what I needed another container for. doing there, Coop? Let me see if I can get you a treat. See them. Frozen pipes. Not in Florida. It's always been a concern up north, no matter where I've lived. Except in the apartments I had up in Boston. Even though we didn't have heat the whole winter. That was crazy. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. Excuse me. Ah. Put a little white glue in there. Mix in some of this water. Oh, so I made a long-awaited video for my Dash of Elan channel. If you guys haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out if you want. I put it up yesterday. I'm going to start putting up more content over there as well as here. And the reason being, I got my game room studio kind of sorted and cleaned up and good to go. So its inauguration was basically shooting a video as I get back into the flow. There's a bloke. Add that to the list of stuff I don't have to. I read that. Florida. I try not to think about my plumbing installed in 1940. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Feels that way, doesn't it, Dale? Right. All right, Paul. Take care of business. Good luck. Good luck, man. All right, so there's our glue. Oh, let's get some bases. I think we'll bring in what's his name? I can't think of his name. Let me turn up the voice here. Jeeves, that's his name. Let's bring in Jeeves, so I don't have to stare at the screen so much. Jeeves will do the talking. Right, Jeeves? Oh, I know what I need. I need my Optivisor. Hoping to start streaming games of Discord. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Let me turn off the thunder here. I'd love to see some videos from you, Dale. Did she used to put videos up? I don't remember. It's been so long. Okay. Well, you get a different brush. Oh, it's just as bad.
Dilligaf man says. No, not yet.
Okay. 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 Dilligaf. That's a little bit too much glue, but that'll be all right. Let's see what it looks like. Where to start? Put some flock. Put some stones. Oh, that's what I needed a container for. I needed it for my static flock. Yeah. Let me put it in this for now.
Dilligaf man says. I guess I impressed him in co-op game enough, he's invited me to direct events on his channel.
Huh. That's nice. There you go. A little impressing. See what that looked like. Pretty good. Of course, I'm going to paint all these grass blades green and yellow, in case you're wondering. Yeah, that came out pretty good. You can't really see it, but I guess you'll have to trust me. Try to be a little bit more sparse with the glue here. I don't like putting too much on. I want some of the earth to show through. Just want to hide the bases, that kind of thing. I don't want to go crazy here. A green flock. A couple little stones and sand. I didn't use any kitty litter yet. Those are the big stones. That looks a little better. A little bit more patchy. Yeah, that's better. That'll do. This process goes pretty quick, actually. It's the painting that takes a little time. It's a little tedious, but with so many bases, it does take a while. But this whole process doesn't take long, really. And it's the final process. So things are getting done. Drop some kitty litter on there, see if that shows up. I usually do this in boxes, so the boxes collects everything. No waste. I want to be able to reuse this stuff. So what do you think, Dale? PlayStation 5 or Xbox? Anyone a PlayStation 5 fan? Looks good. PlayStation over Xbox. What say you?
Dilligap man says, I'm PC man.
I knew you'd say that. So am I, really. I don't know though. I've been thinking of going back into console
James
gaming.
L has donated $10.00.
Hey,
Dilligap
James.
man says, never got my thumbs trained for controller LOL.
Let me finish this guy and I'll catch up with the Chaturonsky. So James Meister has dropped in. Finish the static grassage. Let's get that covered. It's hard to see. I don't know where the focus is on this. Too dark anyway. Let's catch up on the Chaturonsky. There we go. There we go. Hoping to start streaming on YouTube, actually. What did you mean by that, Dale? Hoping to start streaming GOH games. What is GOH? Gates of Hell. Gates of Hell. Got it. Gates of Hell games in Discord on Hetman's Discord channel. Oh, okay. All right. All right. That's what you meant. Okay. I guess I impressed him to co-op game enough. He's invited me to direct events in his channel. PC Man. James. $10 Australian. Thanks, James. I appreciate that. As always. James holding up the community pillars here. Along with a few others. There you go. Don't have to do that, James, but I appreciate it. I think James is still on vacation, or maybe he got back. I'm not sure. Breaking out the old airbrush. Gates of Hell, I got that. Never got my thumbs trained for controllers. Yeah. I was raised a PC gamer. Well, not really. My first was console, like it was for all of us, right? I think Jesse has an Xbox. He's an Xbox man. I keep telling him PlayStation's the way to go. Nah, he's an Xbox fanboy, so... He don't do the PC. For some reason.
James L says. Drove back yes. Gonna get back into the airbrush later today.
There we go. Airbrush action is planned. Gotta be careful with these little resin guys.
Dilligap man says. Son was big PlayStation fan. I haven't even looked at it since he died.
Yeah, we don't need to go into that, Dale. I get it. Gotta keep looking forward, my friend. I certainly get that. Deal with this stuff every day. How you holding up, Dale? You okay?
James L says. Might even just touch up the 15mm sci-fi I did last week.
You holding up all right, Dale? All things considered? Funny thing is, we don't really have much choice, do we? It's like something we have to do. Well, I guess we don't have to, but... Let me put these bases up here and get them out of the way.
Dilligap man says. Day by day, I get by.
Yeah, you hang in there. Don't you worry about it, man. It's only gonna get better.
Dilligap man says. Agreed.
4 more bases. Why is it not focused? Let's find a sweet spot. La-da. Let's find a sweet spot right there. Squirrel sent me all those Hyperborea books for 2nd edition, and I bought the 3rd edition books. I have everything for Hyperborea except 4 modules for 3rd edition. Is that not crazy? I went from nothing, just PDFs, to pretty much everything. Like 95%. I'm so ecstatic about that. Probably my favorite RPG ever. Mainly because of the genre and the core of the rules being 1st edition AD&D. I'm ecstatic.
James L says. Being out near the ocean was so good. Walking on miles of sand and floating in salt water was amazing pain relief.
Wow. Damn. You'll have to go back.
James L says. Of all the RPGs you've looked into, Hyperborea is up there. Great artwork.
Oh.
A fine gift.
Task. Squirrel blew me away with that. I knew he was going to send something. He sent me his entire collection of 2nd edition. Plus, he sent, I keep forgetting, he sent that book, Palomas, or whatever it is. $100 book. It's like 600-700 pages, all about this city fantasy setting. Beautiful book. He sent that too, to boot. Because I've been talking about, city campaign. He's like me. He doesn't hold on to these things. When he's done, he shares them with people who will appreciate him. I kind of do the same thing. Well, I definitely do the same thing. So I get it. But he just gave them to me. I usually sell them. Because I really don't have much choice, but yeah. Pretty crazy. But anyway.
James L. says, the style of it sets it apart. I will probably get the core rules someday, along with Acts 2.
Yeah, it's the route I'm taking. I'm not going to get into Acts, and I'll get it. So it'll be something I'll do next year, I guess. This year, Hyperborea, man. Pure old school for me. Gonna have to find some players. Oh, has this got glue on it? Alright, there's another base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, geez, I got all these behind them. Go ahead, Jeeves. Posted a video on Dash of Elan yesterday, in case you missed it, James. I'm going to start putting up more videos over there, as well as here. I don't have a lot to share. I mean, I gotta sit there and make videos about what you guys hear me talk about all the time. Ugh. More in-depth look at certain books maybe, but I have to read this stuff, so I don't have much time for anything. I could barely read my Hyperborea. A little bit here at night when I go to bed, and that's it. Got a game of Pathfinder 2 on Wednesday. And it looks like it's going to be just me and Kyle again, because Jesse's not going to show up. He can't play until next month. So I don't think he's coming. Which means, folks, if you're in the Rogues channel, you're all welcome to join. GM Rachel. Every other Wednesday. There we go. Yeah, da 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 da. Sprinkle some static grassage. Double check. Very messy. It's all over my fingers. Stuck to me, man. Stuck to me. Oops, got a little. See if I can wash that off with some water. Okay. My alert's on. I got grass. Wait a minute. Got grass all over the drummer here. Let me clean that out. What happened there? Gotta pay attention. Oh, these guys are gonna look fantastic. Probably some of my best work. Granted, I don't paint the buttons. And I only say that because on these figures, yes, they're 10 mil, you can clearly see the raised buttons. And boy, it would really make them pop. On the officers anyway, you could see the buttons, chink, chink, chink. But nah, I don't go that far with it. My clients know that. I charge extra for that stuff. I actually don't advertise anything higher than what I normally do. But they know what I do. Who knows? Maybe they'll go back and do it. Least they could do, right? All right. So yeah, I got my game rooms all set up, cleaned up. Table isn't covered with stuff anymore. Printers got their own little room now. Still got to set up the resin printer. Got to pull that out of the box, get it set up. But everything's set up, everything's organized and cleaned up, got its own space. So we're all set with that as well. So we're ready for videos, we're ready for printing, we're ready for some games. So I won't have to worry too much about that once the weather turns and I can start focusing on fixing the roof, among other things. We're still early in the year yet. It's still winter. But we've been blessed with some early spring. I'm taking advantage of it. There's another base. 4x8 table in my game room. 4x8. I could do a 4x8. But I've only used my 4x8 maybe 3 times in my life. It's just too big. Sensitive parts probably get core rules someday. That's Hyperborea. I usually keep my 6x4 set up all the time. But I usually play on a 4x4, a 2x3, or a 4x3. That's usually what I play my games at. Because I'm solo. A little bit of Jake and a little bit of Jesse. I haven't played with Jesse in a few years, I think now. Jeez. We were playing 40K there, 9th edition, for a while. Had great fun with that game until we started adding the codices and all the complex freaking rules they added in those codex books. It's crazy. I totally didn't like it. Too much. You gotta freaking play that game pretty regular, and your army pretty regular to get it used to how that game works and actually put together some sound strategies. Because all the different rules that the codex books add to your army, oh man. And I'm not that level of player. I don't play that way. So, yeah, it was but the core base game was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed learning it. Never tried 10th. Probably will. But my thing is going to be 2nd edition, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I've only played 2nd and 3rd. So I'm going to buy the 4th and 5th edition books and stick with those. Did a lot of research on it, and I think 5th edition would be my go-to, if not 4th. 3rd I've played. It's good. 4th and 5th just add some layers onto it with troop types and things, and little tweaks here and there. But that's the game I remember. That's what I want to play. The newer edition stuff from, I think, 8th edition on, just, I don't know, it's a different game. 6th and 7th edition get way too crunchy. 7th is almost unplayable, even though it's the same 3rd edition chassis. Geeking out on 40K here. I think that's what I'm going to do when it comes to 40K. And I got all the rules in the codex books. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? How about you, Dale? What would you do? Would you go back to an old Hammer version? And if so, what edition would you play? Second edition is a whole different game too. Very skirmish RPG-ish like. Very skirmishy anyway. I didn't play that enough. It's another one I want to play. It never ceases to amaze me, the communities that have grown around these different editions of the game. The old Hammer community. It's crazy. You know, you can go on Facebook. You can find groups. You know what groups are on Facebook. You can find groups dedicated to Warhammer 40K 2nd edition. And there's a different one for 3rd edition. And these guys got thousands of people in them. Which is really exciting, you know? Yeah. They would. I have 5th edition. Well, there you go. 5th. That's the one I want to play. I've never played 4th or 5th. And 5th sounds like that's the game that it would be the right level for me to play. It's basically 3rd. But, yeah, so I'm going to pick up those books on eBay or something. I got PDFs of all this stuff. But I want hardbacks, you know. 2nd, even though it's a hot mess, it's where it starts. Yeah, 2nd edition is good. I remember the games we did play. And totally different game. I didn't have an army ready to put on the table until 3rd edition. That's why I didn't really play it. But Jesse and my friend who played with us at the time, they played quite a few games. Space Wolves, Eldar. What did Jesse play? Blood Angels? 3rd with 4th codices seems popular. 3rd's really popular. I could see why. I mean, for one thing, in the core rulebook, they give you all the army lists. They're starter lists, carry-over type lists. But yeah, even the Sisters of Battle are in there. The early days. I think 4th edition added Kill Team. Because you remember, Kill Team came out as a skirmish version of 40K, and it was in the core rulebooks of 40K. It wasn't a separate game. But I think they introduced it in 4th. So it'll be nice having that option again. Play skirmish games. Oh, good. I got them all done. Well, heck, I'm going to finish all these. Jesse's got all these freaking armies to play with. Man, he's been thinking about his next project. Which is pretty cool, because it means I got all these opponents for my sisters and my Dark Angels to go up against. That'll be fun. Good YouTube content. Right, James? I can't wait. Let me put a little more on here. I'm trying to go easy on the static grass. Great fun. Hi, Clyde. Wish I had Jesse's armies. Where can I find some armies like that? I'm glad you put the little musical notes at the end there. I wouldn't have noticed that. There you go. There you go. Clyde making his musical appearance here. So what edition of 40K would you go back to, Clyde, if you were to get into old Hammer? Or would you play the newest version? Say you had a couple friends. Oh, we're into 40K. We each got 2 armies each. Yeah, come on, let's form a group and play. And then you came down with, say, a couple $1,000s worth to buy and start your own army or two. What would you do? And what version of the game would you play? Don't say none. You'd go buy more Hulks or something. We're sticking with 40K. Your buddies are dependent on you here. Come on. 40K. You're going to play some sci-fi, goth, sci-fi. What's the term I'm looking for? Grimdark. Grimdark sci-fi 40K. What edition are we going to play, Clyde? What are you thinking? We already know Dale. He's going with 5th. You know James, he's going with number 2. Come on, Clyde, don't laugh. Come on, get it out. 40K. Chucklehead. Clyde's a chucklehead today. Come on, Clyde. Ah. First edition, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Or dare I say 10th? Clyde probably has no clue. What is this 40K you speak of? I actually thought 10th was fine until they started messing with it. The answer is never go on the internet. All editions work well if you just had a couple of starter sets. Yeah. I think so. I think the later editions aren't as good, honestly. The game is totally different. It's not Jervis Johnson. It's not Andy Chambers anymore. The guys that made that game so fun and hated to some extent, even back then. I have a Chaos Marine army and 3rd edition Codex. I also have a Tau army for 3rd. So, 3rd? There it is, folks. 3rd. Clyde has planted his banner firmly in the hill of 3rd edition 40K. There it is. There it is. Spend that $2,000 wisely, my friend. Third edition. So we got 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. 2 votes for 5th edition, so 5th edition is winning. That's right, 2nd edition had all those cards. You remember the cards? Psyker, not just the Psyker powers, but the vehicle cards. Even bunkers had cards, little profiles for the units. Hit locations, random locations that you can hit. Chaos Codex for that era was great, Clyde. Yeah, I think I have all the 2nd edition books. Most of them. I had the Sisters of Battle book, but I sold it. I got a lot of codices from 2nd edition too. Yeah, I'm all set. Third edition is when I finally went whole hog into 40K. Before that, it was just random minis. Third edition was good. It was a new game. They added some new armies. They reorganized the rules. It was structured better than second edition. Like James says, second edition was a mess. And it was. I mean, it just got out of freaking control with the Codex books. Boy, third edition really tightened the bolts. Actually, third edition is a whole different game. Designed for bigger battles and bigger collections. But they simplified a lot of stuff. I remembered. I was stoked over second edition, or third edition. I really played that. Loved it a lot. Good fun, good memories. Somebody's got to remind me to paint the banner poles. The tips. I got to paint the tips. Clyde, that's your duty. I still haven't done it because you haven't reminded me. You haven't been around. Clyde's been missing. AFK. I got 4 more of the line infantry bases to do. I'm just going through these. Third edition is when I finally went whole hog. I read that. Remember to paint only the tips. Yes. Yes, yes. I just gotta remember to paint them. Oh, they're gonna look so awesome. Wait till you guys see them. I'm gonna have them all full display on my tabletop in there. With terrain and stuff. It's gonna look awesome. Shrink this down a little bit. La da 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 da. You gonna play some Pathfinder, Clyde? You gonna join us on Wednesday? Come on, Clyde. Clyde, come on. Come on, man. Clyde, come on. Pathfinder. Pre-gens. You don't have to do anything. Just make believe. Jesse isn't going to be able to make it, I don't think. So it's me and Kyle in Rachel's game. I feel bad. I want to get some more people in there. Nobody likes Pathfinder. I know, it's pretty rough. It's one of those modern games. Pretty rough. Whoever plays in Rachel's Pathfinder games will have first dibs on joining my Hyperborea campaign. There you go. How about that? How about that, Clyde? Hyperborea. You want to play my Hyperborea campaigns? Stepping stones, stepping stones, stepping stones. Got to play some Pathfinder first. Come on, Clyde. You can do this. You don't need it. I got the PDFs. You don't need a rule book to play. Get your PDF. You're all set. Be a blast. I'm going to be playing my favorite iconic of Galarian, Mauricio. The Elven Rogue iconic. I love her. I love her, James. Did you know that? I love my super tall elf females. Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 10. She does these every other Wednesday. One-shots. They're not campaign. It's not a campaign, so you could have a different character or use the same one. It's no commitment. You don't have to be in every session. James, you too. It's for everybody. It's just a one-shot, very light-hearted, nothing serious. You don't have to know how to play. In this case, it's third level characters. So you're a little bit robust. Got a few skills and feats to tinker around with and have some fun. She's really working hard on these too. She's got enough one-shots to go a couple years of gameplay every other Wednesday. Pretty crazy. Which means I don't have to run it. How do you like that? And Kyle can enjoy his Pathfinder 2nd edition. He is a fan. He loves it. Right, Kyle? I know you're out there. I've tried to lure him into other games, but he just doesn't. He can't be lured. Can't do it. Traveler, that's another game I'm going to be running. First dibs in my Traveler campaign. That might happen this year. First dibs. Come on, you guys, help me out on Wednesdays. But yeah, come on. Man, it's like hammering jello to a wall. Grug, wait for Hyperborea. Yes, James, you're invited to play in my Hyperborea campaign. Because I think you'd enjoy it. I think you'd really enjoy that. I'm going to really engross myself in the setting, because the setting is important. That's the game, really, the setting. I'm just going to immerse myself in it for months before I play. And just, Wednesday, Iron Man. Iron Man, I'll probably bring you in my Hyperborea game too, if you're willing. I think that's a good fit for you. There is a Pathfinder tax to play Hyperborea. Tough crowd. Yes, another one is Traveler. I'm going to be playing some Traveler. Actually, Cepheus engine, which is Traveler. But I am going to be doing that, and I might do that this year. I'm focused on Hyperborea right now. Next year, I'm going to be looking into Acts 2. Not just looking into it, but next year is going to be Acts 2. That's going to be another campaign I'm going to be running. I'm going to introduce next year. Because I think the books are released late this year. I can't run games on PDFs. I have them. But I don't. I can't run the game that way. It's hard enough to learn the game that way. And yeah, so that'll be next year. Kyle's around. He's working extremely heavy. Oh, my stomach. I'm cramping up. Too much coffee, I think. Hyperborea, flat like face of grug enemy. Yeah, there you go. I think I'm going to pull out my board game that I've been talking about forever. Musket and Pike. I think that's what I'm going to set up on my game table. Very shortly. I think I'm going to hit that first. Because I really can't do any miniatures games just yet. Except for Triumph. So I think I'm going to pull out a board game, and I'm looking at Musket and Pike. And if I do that, you guys can look forward to some really intense videos. If you know my board game style of videos, you know what I mean. It's going to take me a little bit to get back in the flow with it, but man, that's going to rock. I'm telling you, rock. You guys don't know what you're missing. So I've been thinking about that. Alternatively, I might pull out a small footprint World War II tactical game, but I think I'm going to take out Musket and Pike and get that set up on the table. Play out the Battle of Edge Hill. Flying Colors is also tempting me again too. Multiple cave, and you clipped most of the Musket and Pike counters. I clipped all the counters for Edge Hill. I think I clipped them all. Drug Swing Club. Yeah, I only punch them as I need them. Edge Hill's first. A lot of history in that game. Looking forward to it. What's the temperature today? It's down to 35 degrees today. Gonna be nice and warm tomorrow. Today was a colder day. I think we started off at 50 degrees in the morning, and then it's just got cold as the day progressed, so it's like a little cold wave coming through for a day. And it's damp. So it's particularly chilly. But it's going to warm up again. Get back to the sunshine. I think we'll be rid of this cold winter weather from here on out. So that's good. Got to bring my heater in. My stove, I should say. Got to bring my stove in and get that ready for a chimney. Got a few options with that. So I could play games in the winter. And maybe be able to print. So in case you don't know, I'm not moving the game room into the new house. I'm actually keeping my game room studio in where it is right now. There's really no reason to move it. I actually like it in here. The ceiling's going to be fixed. There's going to be heat in there. It's a much bigger space. So I'm going to keep it set up in there. So that's what's going on with that. I mean, it's nice in the other house, but it's a lot easier just continuing with what I'm doing. I like it in here. I'm used to it, I guess. I like having the big open room. So we'll see what I do with the other house, which is actually a little smaller. So I'm not going to worry about that for now. Oh yeah, these are looking great. Last GNT I got was North Africa. Yep, I remember. I have enough board games. Wouldn't mind another Rifle and Saber era one. Rifle and Saber? I don't have any Rifle and Saber. 19th century, right? I'd like to get a Franco-Prussian War. That era, that type of game. I'd love to get into something like that. I know GMT produced some, but I don't know. I don't think they're even still in print. I don't know. I look around, but I don't see any, man. Okay, this is the last base. Alright, we got all 15 line infantry bases done. They're flocked. Let them dry for tomorrow and then we'll paint them. So we'll let them dry. Let's see, what are we at? 1 hour and 49. That's perfect. So what I'll do is I'll let them dry a little bit. And then I'm going to paint the tips of those flags right Clyde, you there? Clyde? Gotta remind me. So we're gonna do that today. So for now, we can relax. American Civil War, I would call that the start of a new era, maybe Crimea. Crimea. I had a FPW game. My brother with all my folio games. Ian, bless him. And I weirdly had a lot of same folio games right down to the fictional Battle of Dorking. Sudan campaign would be cool. You could do it at the army level and fight insurgency up the Nile. Oh. I gotta put in some Spotify or something. Ooh. Ooh, ah, E. I've been summoned. Boy, I hope I can do this. Is it Nordic? Boats. Oh, crap. All right, I failed that. Okay, let's get back to the chat here. The infantry are actually the most involved to base because of the cramped number of miniatures on the base. There's not a lot of open space there. It's easy to get glue where you shouldn't. But I got the 15 line done. I've got 6 Jaeger bases, which I'll have to do. No, 8 bases of Jaeger, which I'll do tomorrow, along with some whatever, cavalry artillery or something. So, yeah, let me put a lid on this. Do a little basing every day and a little painting every day, and they should be done in about 3 days, I think. This week the project comes to conclusion. You ready for that, Nordic? You ready for that? Can you handle it, my friend? Can you handle seeing a project completed? Get ready. Get ready. Because it's going to be a good time. Let's get our brush out and paint those tips. Little tippage. Oh, man. So how you doing, Nordic? How is everything? I agree. Back Me is an excellent start. Good review of RPGs and Matt's stream over there last session. Very good. GMT is losing its luster on me. Their price increases and shipping increases really put a damper on their stuff. Or you got to get them somewhere else. Get away from that shipping garbage. Of course you know this. What was I going to do here? I've been summoned. What the heck happened? I'm doing pretty fantastic, actually. Did you hear I got all my Hyperborea stuff? My collection is not only started, it's almost complete. Yeah, Hyperborea. Oh. I'm doing pretty good myself. Sleep is often on. It's pretty heavy when it's on. My cat keeps waking me up. It's driving me crazy. I had a good talking to him this afternoon. He's tortured me, I'm telling you. He intentionally waits for me to lay down and get comfortable before he gets up and decides it's time to feed. It's like, are you kidding me? As soon as I lay down, that's the story. He waits for it. Sleep all day. As soon as I get comfortable, time to relax. He waits till I'm all wrapped up and bundled and as comfortable as humanly possible before he decides to get up and start walking around. And as I said before, he's found his voice since we moved out here. He's found his voice. So he screams when he yells. Screams. It's kind of unsettling, actually. But yeah, I've had to deal with that for some time now, and he doesn't let up. It's a challenge. Takes a lot to get me ticked off, I'm telling you, but man, he knows how to push those buttons. For sure. Let's not get into politics. Don't even mention it. Because I know there's some folks in the chat, even right now, that have what I would say opposing views. So let's not go there. Let's not bring it up. All right? Let's not even hint at culture war stuff, because I don't do that here. You guys know this. So let's not start. Don't make me crack the whip. And the whip should be cracked loudly and harshly, indiscriminately as well. So gird your loins as we talk about games and what brings us all together in this community. Not what separates, but what brings us together. And that's our love and our passion for games, painting, miniatures, board games, even PC, and even console gaming. Yes, PlayStation 5, man, I'm telling you, it's where it's at. Let's focus. Let's focus. I did see the RPG Hall Fritz. Looks interesting. Traveler calls me to me more. Yes, yes. I mentioned that earlier in the chat today. Possibly later this year I'll be doing that as my second campaign this year. Like I said, let's keep the politics out. Pineapples. Yes, enough of that. Did you like the stream last night, Fritz? This... Who blocked who? Did something happen here? It did, didn't it? Did Dale leave? What happened here? Why do I not see his stuff anymore? Yes, he's gone. What happened in the stream, James? Come on, fess up. What happened? I wasn't paying attention to that nonsense. Tabletop Commanders. Well, I don't see him in here. I don't know what happened. I didn't block him from the channel. Dale is a very good friend of mine. And I know he has views that I don't agree with. But I've somehow managed to be a very good friend of his for a long time. And I'll remain so. But he knows better than to bring up anything or to start up anything. But so if he ever comes back or whatever happened here, please don't bring up this political stuff, because I don't bring that up on the thing at all unless it's me saying something, because it's my channel. But let's stay clear of anything referring to the culture war or politics or anything. You guys all know this. I'm preaching to the choir. But just so this kind of stuff doesn't happen. Anyway, we'll move on, because that's what we do here. I have to get my silver paint, my steel. So we could paint those tippage. I missed it too, Clyde. Yes, it is. All you got to do is bring up something political or culture war. Just a hint, like I think you did, Nordic. And boom! Things erupt. You got to be careful of that nonsense. Just, there's a time and a place for everything in life, right? And the worst place for it is something like this in this community, where we're all talking about games and stuff. Fun. We go into this little world of ours. Not to escape. What is that noise? I hear something. Oh, you timed him out. All right. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. So anyway, pretty day here. Weather-wise, not so much here. We got rain, and it's gotten cold. We're down to 34. I think Nordic would agree. Terrible winds last night. Holy smokes! I had to go out and look at the trees, see if my life is in danger. Oh, don't. I'm cramping up here. Because that's the way we do it. Yes, Clyde. We didn't get much rain at all. We got spared the heavy rain. I think we got a heavy rain for a few minutes, and then it was just light or non-existent. But it was just damp and just chilly. And the wind was howling, which always makes things colder, as you know. And that was the worst of it. Of course, I'm over here with the buckets. Stare at the computer and cough. The old coughage, huh? Ay, ay, ay. Tomorrow it's going to be much better weather. So that's something to look forward to. I think we're done with this cold weather. This winter. I take vitamin C every day myself. I don't think I saw the stream last night. When did I watch the one where you were talking about Beckme? That wasn't last night, was it? I can't remember what I was watching. I think I was in bed sleeping last night. If you, I don't remember. I could have been watching you guys last night. The last stream I saw, I remember specifically focusing in when you were talking about RPGs, first edition, and and Beckme. That wasn't last night, was it? I'm talking to you, Nordic. That was last night. Oh, are you kidding? I don't even remember. Was I sleepwalking? Huh. I must have been watching in spurts because I don't remember the whole stream and sitting there the whole time. I do remember that, though. Because Matt goes on and on about something and he loses me. All right, last night it was. I must have been watching. I know one stream I haven't watched lately, and Clyde knows this one. It's the Musty Wargamers. I haven't watched one in over a month. I've been totally missing them. Because they're on Canadian, well, they're on West Coast time. Which means they come on at like 10 o'clock at night for me. Which is never a good time. Give it time. Matt's going to be playing Traveler. And he's going to be all in. Because that's the way he is. That's his nature. That's exactly how he is. Oh, I could never get into board games. That's not my thing. I couldn't get into pushing cardboard on hexes. It's just not me. You know, and here he is now. But you wait and see. I don't think he has much experience with role-playing. Especially when you're with the right people. A good GM and good players. That changes everything. Cemetery Uprising. I like that. Dog chewing up things. Yeah, if you keep talking to him about it and give him a demo game, he'd go all in. Or he wouldn't. One or the other. It all depends on his experience with the situation. But if there's even a slight hint of him liking it, he'll be all in. I'd be curious if he was to play in one of my games. I wondered how he'd take one of my games. Because he's never played in one of my games. I doubt he's ever seen one of my games. Not that my games are special, but, you know, I have my own way of running things. When it's good, it's awesome. Otherwise, it sucks. What am I doing here? Gonna paint some flags. I think my Hyperborea games are going to be incredible. Because I really, 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 really enjoy the setting and the rules. And when I really like something like that, I get fully invested. And my imagination just churns with good stuff. So I'm really hopeful. I was like that when I started playing Pathfinder for the first time. Then I just lost it. Felt like all I was doing was memorizing things, not being creative or imaginative like I might like to do. And that's where I get lost. Occupants of the cemetery. Let me look at something. Oh, man. No, I can't do this. You gotta be kidding me. PC willpower roll failure. Huh. Good fun, Paul. Good fun. I'd play a hyperbolic game. Hyperbole. If he had failed, then all of them would have been dazed, befuddled, or entranced. Now that's a game I want to play. I want to play V20 of Vampire the Masquerade. Not the 5th edition. Garbage. But the V20 version of the game. I have a lot of friends who've played it. And I've always wanted to play it. So that's something I'm considering. I know I talk a lot about role-playing games and what I'm going to be doing, but this isn't all going to happen at once. I'm not going to get overwhelmed because there is a lot of different games I want to try. But that's one of them, too. That's definitely one of them. I always felt like they lost their pop, so to speak. What lost their pop? Wizards of the Coast? D&D? RPGs in general? Dun, 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 dun. There's one. Oh, you're talking about vampires. I thought you were talking about Vampire the Masquerade. It was probably on my mind when you said vampires, Nordic. But you're talking about what Paul was saying. Vampires. Okay, now I get it. That would be V20. You were playing V20. Or the revised version. All V20 is, it's a compilation of the revisions. It's the game you played. Known as V20 today. Celebrating the 20th anniversary. That's why they call it V20. The green cover with the rose. And Paul, you're giving away the story. can't read. Oh, okay, Paul. I thought they were. Gotcha. I thought you tied your RPG game into the Warhammer storyline. Or do you do that separate? Gotcha. I have to paint the base edges too on these. Two more bases. One more base. There it is. Got it done, Clyde. What are you guys talking about? Angel or Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Jeez. What a topic. Are you kidding me? Do I have to choose? All right, so there they are. Getting back on topic here. Get that out of there. Dun, 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 dun. So we got to paint the base edges. Going to be black. And I've got to highlight the grass, green and yellow. And then they're done. This is just the 15 line infantry battalions. So I got 3 or 4 brigades of troops there. Just line infantry. Got 8 Jaeger battalions. Three Cossack squadrons, 6 batteries of guns. The rest is all train. Got a bunch of generals too. Let's get some close-ups. Yeah, screw this distance stuff. Let's get some close-ups. You guys are still talking about that. You're such nerds. God. Nerds. Let's do it like this. And then let's see. Let's get the focus on here. Wish my face cam was a little smaller. Like real small. Yeah. Let's grab the camera. Close that. Alright, there we go. Let me hold it still because I got the exposure pretty high, so it's going to be... What do you think? Is that looking good? Looking good? Hold on. Let's get some side action here. You can only see those guys there. Let me see if I could play with the focus. As we look down the gun line. Pretty cool, huh? That makes me happy. That makes me happy. Let's look at the backs. Why is that not in focus? Yeah. Well, anyway. More cowbell, is it? I still haven't brought in my cowbell. Cowbells. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let me get that exposure down. Da-dun. So there they are. There they are. That's a look at them. Just the line infantry. Yeah, they're going to look fantastic once that vibrant green and yellows hits the grass blades. Everything will just pop. That's the thing about my commissions. It's worth the wait. Might take me a while sometimes, most of the time. It takes me a while to get these done. But man, is it so worth it. Everybody deserves a nicely painted army. Nice toy soldiers. I can hear marching music in my mind. Oh, I forgot how to do things. Oh. Let's see. PQR. Whoops. Let's get in control here. What's happening? Where are they? No, I'm not bringing them all back. If you can name that song, you win a freely painted Russian Napoleonic army. That's actually a period march from that era. Oh, I can't think of the name of it though. It's a Russian song. Something Grenadiers. Imperial Grenadiers. I can't think of the name of it though. I don't speak Russian. Yeah, it's a Russian march. I can't think of the name of it. It's something Grenadiers, performed by some modern military orchestra. But yeah, I like it. I think it was commemorating some battle. I'll let you guys figure it out. The British Grenadier March. That's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Whenever I did my battle reports, I always had that music playing. And battle sounds, too. I got Napoleonic battle sounds on my computer here somewhere. Cannons firing. What's a battle? March of the Lifeguards. Don't knock that over, Walter. You be careful. Be careful, they're gonna knock it down. Ripes. Conan the Barbarian theme. Dun 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 dun. Love it. I don't have the British Grenadier on here. But I got that one again. Play a little bit more. It's actually pretty good. I don't have my Napoleonics slideshow. Well, World War II. Imagine the Russian Napoleonic troops marching in battle. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I'd have to find my music in the background. Walzen Matilda. Does it really? Does it really, Paul? Waltzen Matilda. I got English Civil War drum calls. Paul might actually recognize some of them. Since it's his thing. Yeah. I don't know if he'd recognize them. Where do I have them? I'm not sure. I think it's in my intro. Oh, it's in my intro. Let me add it to the main screen. Let me see here. Let me see where it is. Drums. Why does my screen go black? Get out of here. Listen to some drum calls. Get in formation. Quick step forward. Do you recognize these, Paul? How you doing, Doug? I got some drum calls here. Paul might be interested in English Civil War era. Gotta love that hollow drum sound. Drums to paint by. It's Tearjerker, Avalon Hill. Jeez, it's supposed to be a fun hobby. Not supposed to be crying. This makes me want to put my buff coat on. Be quite cavalier. I think Paul's a roundhead. He's one of the roundies. Is that true, Paul? You're roundy? I think he is. I think he's Parliament. One of those parliamentarian dudes. What made it a tearjerker, Doug? Charleville? God save Lord Fairfax. What? I always let the drums fade out. Stop it, Walter. Enough of this nonsense. Can't take it anymore. Oh, there's the old black screen again. I know why it does that. See, now we can add the drums. Pretty cool, huh? Forward, men, forward! What are you doing? I am indeed a soldier for Parliament, or I should say for God and Parliament. Ferdinando Fairfax and his famous son, Sir Thomas Fairfax. Yorkshiremen. Oh, they were. Huh. Oh, I am still black. There we go. Forgot the transition there. I was looking at the wrong screen. Are you related to the bastard, Clyde? Son, not sons. Placebo effect going on Paul's end. Boy, you better watch out, Paul. Things could get pretty wild in that house with the old non-alcoholic beverages. Placebos. Things will get out of control quick. It's been a long time coming, says Paul. I've worked hard all day. Ah, for king, says Nordic. Let's get that out of there. Oh, what's the name of that? What is the name of that BBC drama from back in the early 80s? Do you remember that, Paul? English Civil War. It was a series that covered a whole family's experiences through the First and Second Wars. Oh, By the Sword Divided. Anyone ever see that? That series changed my life forever. BBC production. That began my fascination with essentially 1640s England. 1650s. The culture, the life they lived. Paul knows all about it. It's his thing. He knows a lot more than I do, but man, that was a great series. You can find it on YouTube. First and second seasons. By the Sword Divided, it's called. Look it up on YouTube. What is this? Let me get that off of here. Oh, they were in the Sword Divided. Really? Oh, that's cool. I saw it way back. I never seen anything like it. It was my introduction to the English Civil Wars. And I just fell in love with it. I was intrigued. It's one of those periods of history I've always wanted to collect and game and learn more about. But I've never gone further than some 15 mil Essex that I painted up for DBR back in the 90s or something. That's as far as it went. I never actually took it to the hilt. I might one day. It's just one of those things. Paul would be the guy to go to. He knows all about this stuff. Was there? There was some English Civil Wars fighting going on in the colonies. That was tied to the war in England? I didn't know that. I know we had stuff going on here, but really, that's intriguing. I was always an 1812 and Napoleonic lad. Just expanded to the other wars later. Yeah, kind of me too, which I actually took to the hilt. But the English Civil War was always a big one. I mean, I was learning about that before I was into D&D. The late 1650s. Huh. American Civil War and then expanded into the French and Indian War. American Revolution, Napoleonic, and War of 1812 came later. Did you collect miniatures for this, or is this your board gaming? I think my very first wargaming that I ever did was naval. And French, or not French and Indian War, but 7 Years' War. No, I take that back. That's wrong. My first was medieval. That's the first wargaming with miniatures I ever did. Medieval stuff. That was the beginning. Battle of Severn. Battle of the Severn? Or who ruled in Maryland? Annapolis. 1655. Huh. And that had something to do with the English Civil War in England? It was tied to it in some way? Played a role? Flames of War and Fire and Fury. Fire and Fury. Oh, Fire and Fury, American Civil War. Yeah, look into it, Doug. Because I'll totally forget that. I'm not going to remember. I love that stuff. I'd love to look into that myself. What's going on in Discord? One volley. Battle's over. Okay, let's go home. That's what makes it even more fascinating. Small engagements like that. Not uncommon for over here in America. What's going on, by the way? Doug, everything all right? Haven't talked to you in a while. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Hopefully keeping yourself on the up and up. Planning and plotting some new battles with your church that you put together. I got my one book here. Oh, in front of me. Oh, does that look familiar? Look at that. Hey, Clyde, check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Got my Hyperborea 3rd edition books in. A couple days ago. What happened here? Pyromaster. These books are extremely high quality. They even come with the little rinky dinks at the bottom. Not at the bottom, but in the binding. $50 a book. $100 for the 2 core books. So I got my 3rd edition books, all of my 2nd edition books. The only thing I'm missing is 4 3rd edition modules, which I will add to the collection. And all this stuff is backwards compatible. That's why I wanted the 2nd edition as well. Thanks out to Squirrel Hermit for that. So I got tons of modules, tons of rule books. Hyperbolic 4th edition. Oh, will you stop? Dentist tomorrow. NHS though, some minimal charges compared to private dental care. How did we get talking about teeth? Dental work. Oh, Doug talking about his dental work. Yeah, I get that taken care of. Can't have that going on. Teeth are valuable assets, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I had a filling that I lost. Just woke up the next day and the filling was gone. So yeah, I swallowed it. I ate my filling. Right down the old gullet. Right? For the price you pay on these books, it's well worth it. The quality is exceptional. And the kind of game that it provides, is quite unique. Very much up my alley. But I could never afford it, so I never got into this game. I just had the PDFs. And for the life of me, I could not run the game or even learn the game properly with PDFs. I need to have a hardback. And now I do. So I finally got the game that I've been looking for years to get into. So that's awesome. Were you filled from eating the filling? Hard to say. Hard to say. I didn't realize it until much, much later. Probably wasn't hungry. Nothing worse than teeth pain. Toothaches and all that. I guess there is some people would say, yeah, there's things worse than that. I'm sure there is, but boy, man, when you're under the pressure of that inflamed gum, you're ready to die. It's time to call it quits. It's pain, man, pain. Gotta take care of them teeth. When the apocalypse comes, you better know how to take care of your teeth. Yeah, got them all yanked. I'm doing pretty good. I've lost quite a few teeth in the back there. The back ones, which is a good thing. But that's it. I'm good. My sister's a dental hygienist. She retired now. But yeah, I grew up in that atmosphere. Probably one of the greatest habits I've had for most of my life is brushing my teeth regular. Good habits are hard to come by. Yeah, almost passed out, huh? I can believe it. Behind the Claw book. Are they all Frontiers or Traveler stuff? None of those rang a bell for me. 7 half teeth. Oh, you gotta get that taken care of, Doug. Yikes. Especially if they're bothering you. Wow. Clyde. I played Civilization on the computer years ago. Not my thing. Never did the board game. But some of my friends, they are so hooked into Civilization. I just never got into that style of gaming. Managing all this stuff. Developing a culture and society. I never got into that. Missed a bit there. Ruth shouted. It's a star brighter than any we've seen. Look through the binocs. Not sure why it's so bright. Yeah? I'll keep my eyes open. You're some hours behind. We probably wouldn't see it yet. Great Rift. Nothing in the news about bright lights in the sky. Just checked YouTube and X. Nothing going on there, Paul. Never know, folks. Never know. Maybe there's a planet out. Google planets visible tonight and see what it says. Maybe you're looking at a freaking planet. Look at this link here. Watch this, Fritz. It's the launch of the 5th Frontier War. David Bowie parking the UFO. He's coming back for some guitar strings. Alright, what was I going to do? Click a link, right? Let me go to the chat. Click it, and then I got to go back to the chat. Oh, it's Venus. Wow. All right, well, that's what it is. I'll have to take a look tonight. Can you escape the 5th Frontier War? Huh. Boy, these people in the video are pretty immersed in the game here. Be nice if every game was that immersive. The 5th Frontier War. Can you escape the 5th Frontier War? What's that? The Zidane fleets are already in jump space. No one has a clue they are about to descend upon the 3rd Imperium. Ah, there you go. After the sun and moon, Venus is the third brightest object in the night sky. Yeah, we're all going to have to take a look tonight. It's early yet. I don't know if it's cloudy or not tonight. We've been having rain passing through. But I'll definitely notice it if it's up there. It sucks because I can't look at stars like I used to, because every time I do, everything's like double. I see 2 lights. For every light, there's 2 of them because of my eyes being shot. And I can't put my glasses on. That doesn't help. I'd have to be looking through binoculars or something to see things proper. Stay on. We did almost 2.5 hours of painting today, 3 hours and 18 minutes of streaming. That's what we did today, folks. Not bad. Not bad at all. Probably do tomorrow as well. We'll see. Because I'm right in the flow here of finishing these guys off. So don't be surprised if I stream every day this week as I get this project done. And it's looking fantastic. I'll see if I could do another video for Dash of Elan. If you're not subscribed to that, think about it, because it's my other channel. That's where I put all my wargaming focused stuff. Not all of it, but I put it here too. But over there, you're going to see stuff you won't see over here. And I might make a video showcasing this for you guys when it's all done. I might do that. Yeah. It's a good place to put all my miniatures videos. Well done. Pizza. I just got pizza for dinner tonight. That's going to be my dinner. Pop it in the oven, get it all crispy. I haven't had pizza in a while. Gotta watch. Don't want to get all big from eating bread. That would not be good. I'm already feeling it, actually. I better be careful. We better be careful. James, once again, pillar of the community. Thanks, James. Double shot today from James. Ka-ching! Gotta get that cowbell. Gotta get the cowbell. Keeping hope alive. So yeah, we'll have pizza tonight for dinner. Kick back and relax. Things are looking good. Got plans for videos. I've got my game room back. Getting a project done here. I've got Hyperborea. It's a good time. It's a good time right now. I'm feeling pretty good with the vibage. You guys are helping out a lot. And I appreciate that immensely. Boy, flocking is messy. Not my favorite thing to do. But I'm going to keep this stuff close by so I can utilize it tomorrow. Keep this going. Because I lost everything. I don't know where I put my original stuff. I had to make a whole new setup here. There's my kitty litter. Never have enough of that. Gotta hide it from my cats. Well dump it all over the floor and leave me a little surprise with a little pile. Won't you, Walter? Leave me a little pile? Pizza. I can hear the drums beating the retreat, so I must retire. In good order, of course. Actually, before I go, a story. A story from Paul. He has a little story before he goes. Let's listen intently. Paul does such a fine job on his channel telling stories in Yorkshire accent. Very well done. Oh, my cats destroy litter boxes. I got 2 of them, but boy, are they destroy it. I got to keep up on that. If I let it go a day, forget it. It's like concrete. It's like digging into concrete. And I get the clump stuff, too. Oh, don't ever get the non-clumping. It's a terrible waste of money. It's pretty bad. But at least I can use the clean kitty litter. You know, I could use that for terrain. Little boulders and rocks. Build little stone walls. I have to do that too. I gave all my beautiful stone walls to Ian. Where's this story, Paul? I let it go this last time. Oh, here comes the story. Hold on. I let it go this last time, which was a mistake. Need to remember to check the box every other day, since it's just one cat using it. I have to check it every day. I do it in the mornings. I'm trying to make that a habit. If I miss a day, forget it. It's destroyed. 2 days? Oh, you might as well move out. You throw the litter box out, the whole thing. It's like concrete. It's crazy. Sir James Turner often told how in the 30 Years' War his old regiment retreated in good order, without the loss of a single man, even though there was not so much as a footboy pursuing them. The story always puts a smile on my face. You would have got along very well with Ian. He was another Yorkshireman and a storyteller to boot. And he would tell stories just like you're relating. He was a writer. And I remember one story he wrote and put in his blog. It was an English Civil War story. And I'll never forget it. He had perfect writing skills. Even though he was never trained in it, or educated, whatever you want to say. But he wove that story so well. It was about a little stopper bottle that this soldier was carrying at the very beginning of the story and made its appearance at the very end. I won't give it away in case you want to read that. If anyone has any. I probably should get his blog and put it up for you guys to enjoy. Should remind you to grab some of the non-clumping cat litter on the deck porch. There you go. Nurgle terrain, used kitty litter. Yeah, I think so. That would be about right. Sir James Turner. Captain of my American War of Independence company, loved to review the troops. And when he did, he would stand before us with a smirk and say, "When I look at my privates, I can't help but swell with pride." It'll be the lash for you. Fall in! Lazy dogs. I could tell you an English Civil War Yorkshire story about Bradford Quarter. You should do that, Paul. You should do this as videos. If you only had some English Civil War, well, you got your reenactment stuff, right? You could do something like that where you tell stories from, say, the English Civil War. Be perfect. You get the perfect accent for it. Definitely link Ian's blog. Yeah, I won't find it now. I'm getting all groggy-eyed. These are the things he's left us, and we should absorb them. He's got a pretty extensive blog, actually. His writing and his battle reports and his project updates, he did a lot of blogging. I'll find that. Captain Bynes, is it Bynes? Captain Bynes, during one of the assaults on Bradford Town, was separated from his men. 2 simple townsmen found him, and he asked for quarter. It was a military term they did not know. They said, "I will quarter you," and hacked him to pieces. End of story. That was a short story. Quite brutal too, Paul. Quite brutal. There you go. Story of Captain Bynes. That sounds appropriate for the era. That sort of treatment of surrendering soldiers came to be known as Bradford Quarter. Oh, really? Sure, Nordica could share a little story about Tarleton's Quarter, Battle of Cowpens. There was a battle that Tarleton was involved with and slaughtered the Americans. And the Americans got their revenge at Cowpens. This is all the Southern campaign. And there was the phrase, Tarleton's Quarter. Came about from that. I wonder what was the battle that Tarleton massacred the Americans at? I'm not familiar with the Southern campaign as much. But something. White Mountain, I think. White Mountain. Wasn't it Battle of White Mountain? That was another one. That was a massacre. Americans massacred the British. That was the battle with the over the mountain men and all that good stuff. Is it called White Mountain? I can't remember. Mountain White something. I did a tactical analysis in my school stuff. Yeah. Battle of Waxhalls. I don't even know that. Waxhaws? I didn't even know that battle. Waxhaws? I never even heard it. Ian always gave me a guff for being a royalist. Oh yeah, he was definitely a roundhead. He had no quarter in his soul. There you go. Got a lot of Cavaliers in attendance. It's funny how people still carry that history with them to this day. Especially over here in America for some reason, or Australia. Why is that? I can't say that. You guys over in England, Great Britain there, you still honor that stuff. Not as much as we do the American Civil War. Fortunately, we still got most of our, not most, but a lot of our battlefields intact here. And they're big, giant parks. Most of them. Like Gettysburg. You know, all the battles over in England or Great Britain, the UK, whatever you want to call it, at the time, are all kind of like just a plaque, and that's lucky if you have that. For the most part, from what I understand. Buford's massacre. Colonel Buford refused to surrender to Tarleton, charged in and massacred them. So Tarleton charged in and massacred them. Well, you refused to surrender. Fair game, right? Favorites, my boys loved it 20 years earlier. Had a memorable trip there with my girlfriend at the time. Ah, the girlfriend. There you go, Paul. Castles in Wales. Fought in 1780 near the border with North and South Carolina. Okay. Never heard of that one. That's interesting. I do a couple of weekends a year in Skipton Castle, playing the role of Governor, Colonel Sir John Mallory. Mallory? Mallory. 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 I am very royalist, then. I bet you are. So that was a late period battle, 1780. Okay. Well, it all was, wasn't it? Cowpens and all that. I am declared for the king. Breaking out the king's English there. Jamesified speech. Tarleton had a reputation for being ruthless before Waxhaws, and afterwards they dubbed him the Busher Tarleton. Huh. Yeah, so there you go. Nordic is he's up on his American War of Independence. He's a reenactor, or was a reenactor for the American War of Independence. And Paul, Big Small Worlds, did a little bit of reenacting for the English Civil War, has a lot of connections, and he makes a living out of doing that today. Not as a reenactor, right, Paul, but as a educator, traveling about schools and whatnot, doing his thing. Boy, that's pretty cool that you do that. I'm impressed. And that's your job. So you're making a living out of that. That's pretty cool. Did you hear that, Nordic? Maybe you had to break out the old uniform, if you still got one. Travel around the schools and make a few pennies. Educating folks. Well, probably one of the most important conflicts, well, at least in America's history, right? If not the world. All right, Paul, you take care. Keep an eye on the stream tomorrow. As I try to get some stuff done. Rest well, my friend, and check out that Venus. And play some shocking blue in the background. Because Venus was her name. He lost a few fingers there. Huh, did he really? Don't forget to check the Venus tonight, Doug. Out in the sky. It'll be coming soon, if not now. Should be coming up over the horizon. See a big old bright star up. That's Venus. Assuming it's not cloudy. I'd love to have that job. Travel about the schools and educate the kids as a living historian. Yeah, I never even thought of that. I mean, you wouldn't get rich doing it, but man, it would be enjoyable. Because, you know, if you're into that sort of thing, like we kind of are, yeah, make it all worthwhile. It would pay for itself, I would think. I'm sure there's folks over here that do that. I don't know what the market's like for it. We got so many reenactor encampments and battlefield things going on. That would be a competition, I guess, in a way, kinda. Too cloudy here, says Nordic, so I doubt I'd be able to see anything. Yeah, probably that's what I'm thinking. We're gonna close up shop in a minute here, folks, so I can eat, take care of the cats before they claw me to death here. Things are getting desperate. But it was good fun. I appreciate the support from you guys, Clyde, James, and the conversation, Nordic, and everybody. Yeah, thanks for all that. And folks, we're going to be back tomorrow, I guess. That's going to be the plan anyway. We're going to see what else we can get done and have some more great conversation, hobby related as usual. And sharing the camaraderie that we have here at the Forge and Brush. So with that, I'm going to disappear. So Doug, you too, you take care of yourself. Get those teeth sharpened or dulled, filed down or something. Got to get that dentist going. And we had a medieval reenactors come to our school, but I think I wagged that day to smoke darts in the park. Sounds like good fun either way. So I'm going to call it here, folks. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you again soon. So prepare thyselves for some more paint-along goodness. So as always, folks, hang in there. You know why? It's only going to get better. We'll talk to you soon. Take care, everyone.